Hi, my name's Kate Marie Lewis and I'm the artist behind The Art of Flying. In this video, I'll be telling you how to create your very own mandala painting like this one that I created called Mandala Meditation. What you'll need to create this painting is some watercolour paper, watercolour paint, some masking fluid to create the pattern, and a big flat brush for the watercolour and a small brush that you don't mind getting damaged for using for the masking fluid. The first step of the painting is to create a wash in the background with watercolour. I would recommend choosing one or two colours for the background wash. I chose just a flat turquoise because you will be adding other layers, so you don't want them to get too muddy. Wait for the background layer to dry completely before you move on to the next step. I always like to have a cup of tea to curb the frustration. Now we can move on to the first layer of the masking fluid. Apply the masking fluid to create the pattern for your mandala. Mine starts in the corner of my painting, but you can start in the center if you would prefer. I would recommend that if you start in the center that you measure the exact center because you don't want it to look off just slightly. I'd also recommend putting down the general structure of your mandala over the entire page to start off with, because this layer of the pattern is going to have the highest contrast. Time for another cup of tea while you wait for the masking fluid to dry completely. Now you're ready to add the second layer of watercolour paint over your masking fluid. I chose to use two colours to add contrast for mine. I used pink and turquoise. So the areas where I use turquoise will become a darker turquoise, and the areas where I use pink will become a mixture of pink and turquoise. Now you can add as many layers of masking fluid and paint as you want in your painting. The more layers you add, the more complicated your design can be. But just remember that as you add more layers, those layers will get fainter and have less contrast with the watercolor background. Also keep in mind that each layer of paint that you put on top of the other will mix with the one underneath. So if you add too many layers, you might end up with a muddy mess on your painting. But it depends what you want. I would recommend that you experiment and try different things and see what you like. You're creating this artwork for you, so really the only person that has to be happy with it is you. So do whatever you feel like, and if you don't like it, try again and see what works. For my painting, I used 4 layers of watercolour and 3 layers of masking fluid. Also good to note is to make sure that you put a layer of watercolour on after your final layer of masking fluid. Otherwise, that section of your pattern will be lost without the watercolour to make the contrast show up. I really like the effect that the masking fluid and the layers of watercolour paint create. It reminds me a little bit of batik painting that originated in Indonesia, where artists would use wax on fabric and then dye the fabric. So then the areas where the wax were masked. So then once everything is dry, you get to peel off the masking fluid for the exciting big reveal. This is my favourite part because you get to see how exactly your painting will turn out. Until then, you never really know. So once your masking fluid is off, it should reveal underneath that the areas that you masked off with different layers of paint are different colours. So that gives that nice effect of having some areas of pink lines, some areas of turquoise lines in my painting, but whatever colours you use will show through from underneath. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make your very own mandala painting. If you came up with one that you created, I would love to see them, so please send them my way. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please let me know by telling me in the comments. Also, if you would like to support my work, please subscribe to my mailing list or on any of my social channels. If you're interested in purchasing any of my work, you can check them out on my website, or always feel free to send me a message so I can help you find what you're looking for. Thanks! Bye!